and they're destructive to people's families. When people force their...
What crimes did I commit destructive to anybody's family, AJ? I've never done anything to hurt anybody's family. I've taught everybody should obey the law. Everybody should obey God's law. I'm trying to turn the world back to follow God's law. What's destructive about that?
God's law actually includes paying taxes, rendering unto Caesar what is due to Caesar. That's how society operates.
We're trying to teach them all they're an animal. There's no such thing as right and wrong.
Wife to make structured withdrawals 45 times.
There were not structured withdrawals. Have you seen Kent Hovind is innocent.net? There was never any crime. None. Watch it. Maybe you probably don't want to know the truth. You've already decided. You like the verdict, yeah. Just because a verdict is given doesn't mean it's true.
Well, interesting to say what you say. If, for example, you are found not guilty in this next trial of yours, Kent, if you're found not guilty, will you say just because a verdict is given, doesn't mean it's true? This is a good one to have on the record, Kent. Unbelievable. But yes, you were guilty of structuring. I will do a separate video explaining the ins and outs of that so that people can know what you did, how you did it. Only you, of course, will know why you did it, but you did.
How many people through history innocent people have been convicted and sentenced? I mean, didn't they pass laws in the South that you could own slaves? Does that make it true? That's what the law says.
Well, the Bible said you could own slaves too, Kent. Your own Bible, the book by which you think is literally true.
You guys are complete idiots.
In a row. I think that person should, oftentimes be taken out of society. Now, not always. I certainly don't agree.
Well, and God said anybody that has contact with another man in a sexual way should be executed. That's what God said, to stop diseases from spreading around. That's what God said, AJ. Read about it. Yeah.
With a lot of what the American justice system does, the prison system. Obviously, we have far too many people in prison, far too many non-violent drug offenders, and
non-violent. Why do you just drug offenders? Just non-violent crimes. Period. See, in the Bible, you find them, beat them, or kill them. No prisons.
Is that right? No prisons in the Bible? Wasn't St. John kept on the island of Patmos in a prison?
Should we do that? Certain offenses, you get to pay a fine. Other offenses, you get a beating, 18 lashes or something. Others, you get executed. No prisons needed. I did a book on that called, here we go, The Kennel. Let me get that down here. Tell you what, send Joseph your address, and he will send you my book, The Kennel, my opinion of the justice system and about prisons. I would close it down if I were king. Go to Joseph, is tech support at drdino.com. Send him your address. We'll send you a book, AJ. Okay, let's finish up here.
A huge percentage of them are African-American people who are, unfairly
I'll let that one go.
Targeted for these things. So obviously and I agree with Kent here. When Kent...
AJ, could it be that I was unfairly targeted by the U.S. Attorney, John David Roy Atchison, who spent 5 years investigating, trying to find something on Kent Hovind?
No, and we can actually know the truth about that, Kent. That can be the subject of a later video as well. Atchison's involvement was after you had been convicted, and he filed some other either charge or withdrawal against you, but he was not by any means the lead prosecutor in your trial, and you actually know it. But for the reason you're about to say, it's convenient, because you want to blacken his name, and rightfully, he was a disgusting person, and a bit like some of your other friends. He was disgusting, and I certainly don't in any way condone his actions. But to try and say that that's somehow got anything to do with you and your conviction, that is another exaggeration, maybe a lie. We'll look at that again in a later video, get the truth out.
Like you watch my video trying to find something on Kent Hovind. You mean John David Roy Atchison, the U.S. attorney in Pensacola, that after he put me in prison, seized the church property down there, and then flew to Detroit to have sex with a 5-year-old and got off the plane with Vaseline and an Explorer doll, and they arrested him, put him in prison, and he hung himself? Is that the one you're talking about? Research there, AJ.
Yes, so he's not the one that put Hovind in prison. That is just another Hovind lie.
Went to jail and got out. He realized that, oh, the prison system is actually bad, you know, and I agree with him. But Kent, I mean, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, my man.
It's going to be the same thing with God when you face him judgment day, AJ. You don't want his forgiveness. You don't want his redemption. You don't want his salvation. Okay. You're going to do the time. In prison. Sign this petition to keep him in. People did that, okay? Creation fraud news. Kent Hovind arrested on domestic violence. Okay, let's see.
That happened. Are you kidding?
Jesus was crucified too. He did nothing wrong. A bunch of Jews were killed in Nazi Germany. 6 million of them. Had to be guilty of something, didn't they, AJ? Yeah, had to be, yeah.
To deny that happened? I mean, I know that you have, but you did get arrested, Kent. I know you say, oh, I was just there to get my new license plates. You know, that's all. And they just fingerprinted me and they didn't handcuff me.
That's exactly what happened. They knew there was nothing going on here. They knew Cindy was insane. And they said, look, we got a warrant here. We have to get your fingerprints. So I just walked over, got my fingerprints, and went home. That's what happened, AJ. Why, don't you like that?
I didn't get bailed out. I mean,
that's correct.
Last time that I talked about this on the court stream, I showed the bail bond document with your signature. So
and how much money was it? 0.
Oh, you did get arrested for that, and you're also found guilty of domestic violence, of slamming Cindy.
Okay, so AJ, right now, when this, next month, when the trial comes up, if I'm found innocent, are you going to do a retraction?
Well, actually, you're not found innocent. You're either found guilty or not guilty. And that's very different. Not guilty is very different from being innocent. Perhaps you better go to a real lawyer instead of your paralegal that you seem to be very fond of.
Or just move to something else. Come on now. What are you going to do?
That did happen. Mark Stody was there, basically. He heard it happen. He heard you do it.
He heard her screaming and he heard her slamming the chairs down. He did not hear me do anything to her.
Okay.
Some YouTube channels are devoted to hate Hovind. They suppose it makes things hard on me. Actually, it gets the gospel out further. It does. All their atheist viewers are thinking, Kent Hovind, who's that? Let me Google this. Check it out. Yeah, it works out great. Let's see. Professor Day, 2.8 views.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Kent. So by your same logic, when you do Whack and Atheist videos and you show the clips from the atheist video, isn't that exposing your audience to atheism?
Oh, yeah. And they laugh at you. They are laughing at you, AJ. I'm exposing them all right. They're saying, wow, that guy's a moron. Yeah. I'm trying to reach him anyway.
I guess that's why you barely show any footage from videos when you do the Whack Me.
Showed quite a bit of yours here tonight, aren't I? I showed the whole Dawkins video, the whole thing.
Oh, you know, the accidental mispronunciation of a name. I mean, very childish kid. The same way you call Mr. Darwin Charlie, you know, and it doesn't actually fool anybody. You're not a scientist, and the way you act is nothing like a real scientist or a gentleman.
Thing, all 3.5 minutes, whatever, from the communist red chair. What do you mean I just show part of the video? Come on, AJ, you're the one picks clips out of mine. Go through your channel and see. Can you do a quick count there, Joseph? How many videos does he have? Is it over 100 about me? We're good to go? Okay.
His videos. I mean, sometimes he does. Like with the Professor Dave one, he showed his whole intro of that debate where he calls him a used car salesman and a greased up pig and a lying scumbag. This guy lies for money and all this stuff. Like, geez, Ted. Well, by your same logic, I mean, you're exposing your audience to atheists and atheist rhetoric or content. So
How many of those never would have heard about the gospel or the creation message? Has Professor Dave not done that? Nearly. Oh, rabbit trail. There's a squirrel. That coffee cup I just drank from there on the video was my Dr. Kent, the science gent, got broken. If anybody makes coffee cups, I'd like another cool Dr. Kent, the science gent coffee cup. I might want to make two, like get them broken.
Yeah, 57.
Perhaps there should be 3, one for each doctorate, and plus another one free for the 4th one. You know, I think you got them on a buy 3 get 1 free scheme from an unaccredited university that issues diploma mill degrees to people that don't want to do the work for a real degree.
Got how many?
57 in a playlist.
57 anti-Kent Hovind videos. What else is his channel about? What good does he do besides tear me down? Does he build anything? He's consumed, aren't you? He likes it when I blow him a kiss, don't you? Okay, AJ. People ask me all the time, how do you start a ministry? Very simple. You start a fight. If a fight breaks out in the hallway in a public school, you're in public school, fight breaks out in the hallway, somebody hollers, fight, fight. What's the next thing that happens?
They start doing the Macarena. Macarena Hovind.
Everybody comes to watch.
I thought.
No, you didn't. You don't ever use the word thought when you're referring to yourself, okay?
That makes more sense.
Actually, AJ is one of the more thoughtful people that appears on YouTube, and yeah, sure, he has a bit of fun too, and exposing Mr. Hovind, but he also makes some extremely good points. And he's a whole more nicer about it than Hovind. You could just see the passive aggression in Hovind's face and features. This really gets to him.
I moved to Pensacola, January 1989. Newspaper art.
Literally, no one cares. Nobody cares.
You're playing it for everybody. I care. You must care. You follow everything I do. You're worried about me eating bacon. Do you see the comment on one of his channels? Kent Hovind. The guy that was here the other day, took the tour. Actually, he was sent here to spy on us. He did something on Facebook. What was his name? James something. And said he had a great time. But he said, Kent Hovind eats bacon. I'm not Jewish.
I'm not exactly sure what the point is, but it could be that while the actual workers and volunteers are working hard and they get sort of an average lunch, that you, Mr. Hovind, get to eat the bacon. It's a bit like when you criticize them for having showers that are too long, over 2 minutes, I think was the figure, but you have a personal hot tub. Yeah, sort of bit of hypocrisy.
The Jews don't eat it. That leaves more for me. I mean, what's wrong with that? Come on. Oh.
It's about your life story, bro. Just get to the atheist stuff, okay? No one cares.
Article came out, Pensacola News Journal, that said diamonds found in Montana from 80 million years ago. I was just going to work at the cabinet shop and put my wife through college and get her music degree. That's all. So I wrote.
You mean your ex-wife, Joe Hovind, your ex-wife?
My first letter to the editor. See, they love to pick on this marriage. I've never left a woman, never hurt a woman in my life. I'd like to ask them, before you start asking about my love life, how many women or men did you have before?
Yes, well, you're the one, once again, Mr. Hovind, who puts yourself out as being, the moral person and the Christian and the role model and good example. And yes, it is true that probably your first wife left you and divorced you, but of course you had made her life miserable for a considerable time, so we can't really blame her for that. But your other 2 of your 4 wives, yes, so 3 you have, 4 wives, you actually, in a way, divorced them because you annulled those marriages. So yes, the first wife divorced you, but in effect, you divorced, or to use the other word, annulled, because that's what I think you did. You annulled those marriages, Kent. You did.
Before you got married or even married? How many different animals have you had sex with?
You know, once again, it just gives you the idea of the mind of this creature, Hovind. Oh.
Simple. So you had never written any letters before, like.
Listen to me. I had never written a letter to the editor. I'll go back and play it again. You don't seem to get it. What are we on? 10:48. Let's see. Go back 10, 15 seconds here. Now listen, AJ. Don't twist my words.
From 80 million years ago. I was just going to work at the cabinet shop and put my wife through college and get her music degree. That's all. So I wrote. You mean your ex-wife, Joe Hovind, your ex-wife? My first letter.
She left me.
Simple. So you had never written any letters before, like you didn't know how to write the alphabet? Like, oh, A, B, Hovind, shit. Oh.
Do you understand how stupid you are, AJ? Listen, I said I'd never written a letter to the editor. My mommy was a kindergarten teacher, taught me to read and write early in life before most of the other kids did.
Oh, yes, of course, Kent. You came from a family of educationalists, teachers, and engineers. Yeah. A bit of an exaggeration, but we won't discuss that today.
And I'll tell you what, I'll debate you again. You think I'm stupid? Well, 855 Big Dino extension 4. Tell Joseph I want to debate Hovind again. Come on, you keyboard coward.
Yeah, debate him on the channel of your choice with your moderator, you know, the one that steps in to save you when you are on the ropes, the one that allows you to use your minions, the ones that work for you, to help answer questions and look stuff up on the internet so that you can appear intelligent. Yeah, who would want to debate on those sort of terms?
Oh, I know my ABCs. Hovind goes to jail for free. I said, these dinosaur bones they found are from one that drowned in. The world is not millions of years old. Dinosaurs always lived with man. Fossils don't form unless they're buried quickly. So you knew all of these things about these bones. You knew more about these bones than the paleontologists who figured out where to dig, dug up these bones, and physically worked with these fossils. Because again, fossils aren't bones, they're permineralized concretions within a rock matrix. The bone matter is gone. That's organic matter replaced by minerals, okay? Fossils aren't bones in the dirt. But, so you just read about these boners in the newspaper and you knew all of this stuff? Okay. And we have our first super chat from Valkyrie.
To answer your question, yes, I'm smarter than all those guys on this topic. Bones in the dirt, all you know is they died. You cannot prove they had any children, can you? Can you prove they had children that were different? No. Your evolution theory is based upon imagination. You have to imagine these critters could do something that no critter today can do, produce other than their